Yo, what up guys? In today's video, I want to talk about how playing Battlefield and CS:GO made me quit Call of Duty. My first introduction to the Call of Duty series was Black Ops 1. This was back in 2010 when not everyone had a gaming console to play on. Back in 2010, I would go to my cousin's house almost every weekend just to play Call of Duty Black Ops. Growing up, we would always play Call of Duty together. And I honestly miss those times back in the day when you would just go over someone's house and, play games or, talk about life and stuff like that. I really do miss those times. But, throughout the years, I was a big Call of Duty fan. I was always excited for the next game that was going to drop. If I can remember the last game that I was really hyped for, as far as a Call of Duty game goes, it was probably Black Ops 2. And the reason why, for me, Black Ops 2 was like the last really good game in the series was that this was the last game where it felt like the company actually gave a fuck about what they were making. That's just my opinion, but a lot of people probably agree with me that Black Ops 2 was literally the last game where they actually wanted to make something good. I mean, after Black Ops 2 dropped, we fucking got Call of Duty Ghosts right after it, so it didn't really hit the same as before. So I grew up during the golden era of Call of Duty, which was from 2007 all the way to 2012. So I still played Call of Duty throughout the years. It's just that it was kind of fading away from my life. I was getting older. I wanted to try new things. I had different interests also, so I just didn't really care about Call of Duty as much as I used to when I was a kid. But if I do remember a time where I quit almost altogether, the franchise was probably 2016. 2016 was a year where I just got kind of burnt out on Call of Duty. I pretty much switched over to CS:GO in 2015 to 2016, but I was still looking for a game that I wanted to play all the time, a good first-person shooter, but there just wasn't any on the market that I really enjoyed, besides CS:GO obviously. When I was a kid in elementary and high school, I noticed that almost everyone played Call of Duty, but no one I knew back then ever played a Battlefield game. At lunch, we would all talk about Call of Duty or playing popular single-player games. During those conversations, I would bring up Battlefield. What shocked me was that people even admitted to me that they had never played a Battlefield game in their entire life, which confused me since Battlefield was the second most popular first-person shooter at the time. It made me realize how much damage Call of Duty has done to the FPS genre as a whole. I've met people who were new to CS:GO and Battlefield who complained that those games aren't similar to Call of Duty. I think Call of Duty has plagued many gamers' minds to the point that they genuinely want every game to be just like Call of Duty. The reason I switched to Battlefield 1 back in 2016 was that I wanted to try something new. After playing Call of Duty for so many years, I was just sick and tired of playing the same game every year. Even though the games changed somewhat throughout the years, it was still the same run and gun gameplay I had played for years. In 2016, I was mad at Activision for bundling Infinite Warfare with Call of Duty 4 Remastered. Even at 13 years old, I realized how greedy Activision was as a company. I tried telling people in real life how anti-consumer Activision was by bundling Call of Duty 4 with Infinite Warfare. Activision was baiting people into buying the game. Most people didn't care and just bought it anyway. The funny thing was that I also bought the game just to play COD 4 Remastered. I wanted to fit in with everyone else, and it was a fun game, not gonna lie. However, I still felt guilty for giving Activision my money. So after buying it, I told myself I wouldn't buy another Call of Duty game. The only reason Infinite Warfare ended up beating Battlefield 1 in sales was that Call of Duty 4 Remastered was bundled with Infinite Warfare. If Call of Duty 4 hadn't been bundled, Battlefield 1 would have sold more copies than Call of Duty in 2016. At first, Battlefield 1 beat Call of Duty in sales. Infinite Warfare surpassed Battlefield 1 sales. Even though Battlefield 1 was the better game, it still lost to Call of Duty. While playing Battlefield 1, I had so much fun during my first matches around Christmas of 2016. Even though I was terrible at Battlefield, I still enjoyed the game. When I played Call of Duty, I didn't get that same feeling. If I were playing horribly in Call of Duty, I wouldn't have fun at all. I would just join another lobby if I kept dying. I started playing CS:GO in the summer of 2015, and man, I was so bad at first. I was getting destroyed in every match, which made me doubt myself. When I first played Counter-Strike, I played it just like Call of Duty, which was a big mistake. I quickly realized that this game was way different than Battlefield and Call of Duty. In CS:GO, you couldn't aim down the sights like most FPS games. You actually had to make sure you learned the recoil pattern and knew where the center of your screen was. CS:GO is a game that is easy to learn but hard to master. In CS:GO competitive, you really had to learn all the maps and callouts so you could tell your team where the enemies are. If you were on the terrorist team, you could plant the bomb or kill all the enemy team to win the round. If you were on the counter-terrorist side, you had to kill all the terrorists or defuse the bomb to win a round. In the first round of CS:GO, it's a pistol only round, so both the terrorists and counter-terrorists can only buy pistols, grenades, and a Kevlar vest. On the counter-terrorist side, you could also buy a defuse kit to defuse the bomb faster. Without a defuse kit, it takes 10 seconds to defuse the bomb. But if you were to buy a defuse kit, it reduces the time to 5 seconds. CSGO also had a buying system which made the game more unique than other FPS games in the market. If you didn't have enough money to buy armor or an assault rifle or an SMG, you had to save money for the next round, which put your team at a disadvantage since the enemy team does have enough money to buy themselves an SMG or assault rifle or armor, which gives them a slight advantage. I was so addicted to CSGO that I had everything in that game. I aim trained every day and mastered the movement, which made me harder to kill. I put over 1,000 hours plus into that game because it was just so much fun learning everything the game had to offer. Battlefield 1 is a more team-based game that requires you to play the objective to win. Yes, you can go for kills like in Call of Duty, but at the end of the day, that's not how Battlefield was meant to be played, unless you're playing Team Deathmatch in Battlefield. If you don't support your team by giving them meds or ammo, you will be completely useless. Everyone in Battlefield has a role. If you are playing medic, you need to heal and revive your teammates to prevent wasting too many tickets. If you're playing support, you have to give ammo to your teammates so they can take out the enemies or suppress them. You can also give ammo to an assault player, which gives them more rockets, grenades, and anti-tank grenades to take out enemy vehicles. The assault class's role is to take out tanks, boats, motorcycles, and armored vehicles. The scout class's role is to spot enemies across the map and take out enemy snipers trying to kill your teammates. Another important role for scouts is to eliminate enemies that are trying to flank your team. In Call of Duty, 90% of the time, it's every man for themselves. You don't have to work as a team. You can, but most of the time, everyone in the lobby is competing against each other. People want to get the most kills and be at the top of the leaderboard. It doesn't matter if you're playing Search and Destroy, Team Deathmatch, or Hardpoint. Most people don't even play the objective. They just run around like chickens with their heads cut off, trying to get the most kills possible for their TikTok pages. Even as a kid, I always found it weird that I was the only one on the hardpoint and playing the objective, while everyone else was just having gunfights outside the objective. I can't tell you how many times I've experienced this across different Call of Duty game modes. Another reason I quit Call of Duty was how easy the game was. The skill gap is much higher in games like Counter-Strike or Battlefield. In Call of Duty, you reach a certain skill level and can't improve much beyond that. After getting really good at Call of Duty, I noticed there wasn't anything new to learn to get better. Call of Duty was a fast-paced first-person shooter game where all you did was get kills to earn kill streaks. Basically, Call of Duty is the McDonald's of gaming. When I played Battlefield every day, I had to learn new things every match. I had to figure out which class worked best for me on each map and where players like to camp. I tried different guns to see which ones helped my team take out more enemies. I also ended up mastering the movement in Battlefield and Counter-Strike, which was very hard at first, but over time, my movement improved every match. That's what made me fall in love with Battlefield in the first place, how much there was to learn to get better. Battlefield had way more depth when it came to improving your skills. I also forgot to mention how satisfying sniping felt in Battlefield compared to Call of Duty. In the old Battlefield games, there was suppression and bullet drop, while in Call of Duty, all you did was just point and shoot. It was so satisfying to get a sniper kill in Battlefield 1 from 200 meters away. I still love Call of Duty, I really do, but every time I go back to play it, even the older games like Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 1, which are one of my favorite games of all time, I just don't have fun anymore. I kind of just grew out of it. I just end up going back to Battlefield 4 or Counter-Strike Source. Since I don't like CS2 also, I prefer Counter-Strike Source or CSGO, but obviously Valve got rid of CSGO, so you can't go back and play that game, which is really sad. The only time I go back to play Call of Duty is to play custom zombies. Other than that, I pretty much gave up on the multiplayer. I have tried going back to my favorite Call of Duty games and tried playing them again, but it just doesn't feel the same. It's not gameplay that I enjoy anymore, you know? I always ask myself, do I really want to play this or do I want to play Battlefield or Counter-Strike? Because those are the games that I really prefer more. For those of you out there that still play Call of Duty, I recommend you guys go play other games and expand your gaming taste more. There are way better first-person shooters out there than Call of Duty. And honestly, I know a lot of you want to quit. I've actually met people, even at my job. I knew one guy, he would always play Call of Duty. And I remember I told him, you should go try Marvel, what's it called? You should go try Marvel Rivals, which was a new game that dropped in 2024, I'm pretty sure. And I remember he came back like the week later, or like a couple of days later, and he told me, bro, like, you made me quit Call of Duty. I don't think that was ever possible. Now the only thing he plays is NBA 2K and Marvel Rivals. Those of you out there that still play Call of Duty till this day, and actually have fun with the game, then by all means keep playing the game. I'm not gonna sit here and criticize people for having fun in a video game. The reason why I want people to quit Call of Duty is so we can force companies like Activision to actually make a good video game. For almost a decade now, we have not gotten a good Call of Duty game. The last good game we got was Black Ops 2. And I don't think the company is ever gonna capture that type of magic ever again. The reason why I want people to quit Call of Duty is so we can force these companies to actually make a good game that people are gonna enjoy. Now, Activision has said that they're gonna release Modern Warfare 4, and it's gonna go back to the roots of Modern Warfare 2019, which I don't think that's a good idea at all. I think that game ruined Call of Duty just in general, so I don't know how they're gonna pull that off, but I don't have any hope for this franchise. I don't think they're ever gonna make a good game ever again. But who knows, I could be wrong. Maybe Modern Warfare 4 could actually revive the franchise and make it better. But I doubt it. I don't think they're ever gonna do that. In conclusion, had I not played different games like Battlefield or CSGO, I genuinely believe I would still be playing Call of Duty to this day. I also wouldn't have tried to expand my gaming taste or try different things. But what do you guys think? Do you prefer Battlefield or Call of Duty? Or do you prefer CSGO and still put many hours into it? Let me know and peace out.
I wish that I could just change my past. To think about you, Dad, there's so much shit that I could ask. Like, why am I still haunted by the day that you left? I wake up in the middle of the night with cold sweats. I can't believe this happened, can't believe you're gone. I should've known that when I woke that something went wrong. All the loud screams, me running down the stairs, and she was by your side and you were just laying there. I didn't know what to do, I tried to call the cops.